my friend, welcome back to our comprehension class. Do you know what comprehension means? Comprehension is just a big word to mean that you attach meaning to what you have read, or you show understanding of what you have read. When you read a story, do you understand it? How do you show understanding of the story you've read? By answering questions about it, by being able to retell it. Okay? All right. Great. Okay. Yesterday we read the story about Max and the Silly Hat. Today we are going to read the same story and then answer questions about it. Now, friend, to save a little bit of time, I am not going to read this story again. But in your activity, you have to read it again. Okay? All right. Let's go direct to the questions. Question 1 says, what did Max find in Sam's room? Do you remember what Max found in Sam's room? If we don't remember, we are going to scan. Scan means you look through the story and look for clue words. What kind of words are we looking for? Max find in Sam's room. Well, if you can see the word room somewhere or Sam's room, that can lead us to the answer. I see it here. Sam's room. Okay, now that I've found the two words Sam's room, I am going to read the sentence again to see if it can give me the answer. Max the dog loved to play with hats. One sunny day, he found a big silly hat in Sam's room. Ooh, he found a big silly hat in Sam's room. We've got the answer. What did Max find in Sam's room? He found a big silly hat in Sam's room. So if I'm going to answer this question, I'm going to make sure that I answer it in full. I would say, Max found a big silly hat in Sam's room. Now let's answer question 2. Question 2 says, who laughed when they saw Max wearing the hat? Oh, we are going to go back to our story and scan for the keyword laughed. Is there a point where we see the word laughing? Yeah, the word laughed is here. Okay, let's go back to the beginning of the sentence to read it all so that it makes more sense. The hat had bright colors. Okay, I can go a little bit up here. One sunny day, he found a big silly hat in Sam's room. The hat had bright colors and a big feather. Max put the hat on his head and ran outside. Bella the cat saw Max and laughed. Who laughed? Bella the cat saw Max and laughed. We've got our answer. So who laughed when they saw Max wearing the hat? Bella the cat laughed at Max when she saw him wearing the hat. So who laughed? It's Bella the cat. Okay, let's move on to question 3. Question 3 says, why did Max think his hat was ruined? What's the key word in this question? Ruined. Okay, let us scan through our story and check for the word ruined. Ruined. Oh, here it is. Ruined. We found it. Let's go back to the beginning of the sentence and see if that will give us an answer. Okay, let's go. Oh no! Max cried. My hat is ruined. Does that give us the answer? Not quite. So let's go back a little bit up to check. All right. Max ran around the yard showing off his silly hat. He chased butterflies and barked at birds, but then the big feather fell off. Oh no! Max cried. My hat is ruined. So what happened to the hat? The big feather fell off. That's why he cried. Oh no! My hat is ruined, because the big feather had fallen off. So how do we answer this question? We are going to say, Max thought that his hat was ruined because the big feather had fallen off. Great. Excellent. Let's move on to the next question. Question 4. How do you know that Max and Bella are good friends? Now, this is a question that requires a bit of reasoning. That means thinking, using what you already know about the story to come up with your answer. Because in this story, there's nowhere it's written that Bella and Max are good friends. But there are some clues that tell you that these are good friends. For example, look at the way how they talk to each other. Okay, Max put the hat on his head and ran outside. Bella the cat saw Max and laughed. Max, you look so funny, Bella said. You see? So, Bella is able to tell a joke on Max without thinking that, oh, maybe Max will get offended or annoyed at my joke. That means they have a good relationship already. They can tell jokes on each other. They can laugh at each other and no one will feel bad about it, right? So that's a sign that these two are friends, okay? And also down here, when let me see here, the feather fell off, he said, Sam picked up the feather. Don't worry, Max, I can fix it. I want to see Bella. Bella purred. Okay, here is another joke. Bella purred. You and your heart's Max. Always an adventure. Such a statement. It shows that these are friends, you know. They are free with each other, isn't it? Yes. Okay. I would answer that question by saying, I know that Max and Bella are good friends because they tell jokes on each other and no one gets hurt. All right, or they're being nice to each other. All right, or they can laugh at each other and no one gets angry about it. That means that's your friend. Would you get your friend if they made a joke on you? You wouldn't. All right, unless when it is a bad joke. Be careful not to make bad jokes to hurt people's feelings. All right, know the boundary, know when to stop, and know when to stop, okay? Because if you do it a lot, you may end up hurting people's feelings, even if they are your friends, okay? Okay, let's move to question 5. Question 5 says, have you ever worn a silly hat? What did it look like? Now, this question is asking about your personal experience in relation to the story you've just read. So in this story, Max is wearing a big silly hat. In your situation, or in my situation, have I ever worn a silly hat? I think I have. One time it was the Ugandan independence and I chose to wear a big colorful hat. It had to show all the Ugandan colors. The Ugandan colors are black, yellow, red. So to celebrate our independence, I chose to wear a big colorful hat having the 3 colors, black, yellow, red, and it was made out of sisal. Alright? Yes, so I have ever worn a funny, silly hat. Alright? Great. Is there a time when you've ever worn a silly hat or some sort of a hat? What was it made of? How did it look like? Alright, feel free to shout that out. Okay, another question is still about your personal experience. What fun things do you like to do with your friends? In this story, we see that these 3 friends, Max, Bella, and Sam, enjoyed spending time in the yard, running around, wearing hats, making jokes on each other. So those are the kind of things the 3 enjoy doing. That's the picture we get. In your situation, what fun things do you enjoy doing with your friends? Personally, I like visiting new places with my friends. I find it really fun if I go and check out a new place with a bunch of friends. Yes. Okay. Now we're going to find out a new word. We call that vocabulary, learning a new word and its meaning. So here it says, what does the word purr mean in the sentence? Bella purred. Can you use it in a sentence? Okay, let's go back to this section where it says, Bella purred. You and your heart's Max. Always an adventure. So, purr means when the cat makes that silly noise. Okay, so that's how cats communicate. All right, sometimes it can be a loud purring, sometimes it can be a soft one or a quiet one. Because they are cats, they don't use their words, they use a certain kind of noise. So every time you hear a cat purring or making some sort of noise, that is purring. That's what we mean by purring. Okay, all right, yeah, that's what it means. Can you use it in a sentence? I can say the cat purred loudly because it was angry. Great, that's it. Now you are going to read your story again and answer questions about it. I did not read mine again to save on the time, but for your case, you have to read it again so that you are able to find the answers. This is the story you read yesterday. You are going to read it again and be able to answer these questions. Use the same techniques or strategies I use here to find answers for your questions, all right? Pause the video and have a go at your task. After that, keep your workbook in a safe place because tomorrow we have a job to do together.